And we're on. This is the Let's Talk Cheer podcast, and I'm your host, Jason Larkins, where we talk cheer, we talk life, and we talk whatever comes to mind. 5, 6, 7, 8, let's get started.
Turn it up, you tuning into Let's Talk Cheer with Jason Larkins. We're talking cheer, we're talking like you know we're always talking. So listen up, you boy, about to go all in. 5, 6, 7, 8, we're on, let's begin.
This is episode number 31. Not sure if there's going to be a 32, but thank you for joining and back with us. As always, don't be less when you can be more. Brittany Moore, how is life going?
It's regular life. Running the kids to cheer and school and house cleaning. So how about you? How's life?
Doing that home life. We're good. Joey's back. She recovered from wherever, she was sick not too long ago. So she's like fully recovered. She's like fully herself. We had a whole day together and, gym's going. We're good. And that brings us to our first topic, B. But before we do that, guys, here we are, episode 31 and going strong. People, right now, if you haven't done so, if you're new to the channel, 1, welcome. 2, share, like, subscribe, all of the above. This is the Let's Talk Cheer podcast, and we're trying to talk cheer to everyone across the world. So, but no, I want to get it because you said, how is life? And, the gym has been going good. And this has been on my heart. And I told this to all the teams last week when we ended either our Wednesday practice, every team's second practice of the week, their Wednesday or their Thursday. And because we've been, how the season has been, or at least I know how the season has been. We have summer practices and there's kids in and out with summer vacations. And then, at American we only practice once a week for the elite teams. And so then we have COVID and kids are missing in and out with COVID. And then we're quarantining for a whole week. So those kids are missing a whole practice. And, this whole thing. And then as soon as summer practices are done, we head into choreography. And then right after choreography or, pyramid choreography, after pyramid choreography, we do stunt choreography, routine choreography. And so it's been a while of like inconsistent practices due to just kids being absent. And then we have our high school kids who doing high school cheer, and for our older teams, they're doing high school cheer. So that, they have homecoming and this and high school practice and all these things. So kids just in and out for, it seems like forever and for real. And I felt like this last week and a half or so, we've had like really consistent practices. And so we're going to like get some stuff done. And we go, and we're doing the pyramid and like the pyramid's hitting and teams looking good. And I just told all the teams, like, this is why practice is important. Like, so public service announcement to all gym owners, directors, coaches, parents, and athletes. Practices truly are important. Like, our season is made up of practices, and your season's your season and the routines that you do on the stage are just a reflection of the practices you have, day in and day out. And if you have inconsistent practices, you're going to have inconsistent routines and inconsistent, performances out there on the mat. And it was just such a good reminder because we go and we're having practice and we're all right. We have people here. Let's start putting together this pyramid. We're doing the pyramid. And, the sense in the room is, Coach, we're a freaking hot mess, right? Like nothing's hitting, everything's dropping, and everyone, right? Parents in the lobby, those guys, they're a hot mess right now. Kids know we're a hot mess. We're all looking at, guys, we gotta keep up a prep. Come on, doing all these things. And the next practice, we come back and we have everyone there again, and we go and we do the pyramid again. And it's like, hey, the pyramid was a little bit better today. Here we go. And we go and we come back to next practice and we do the pyramid again. And the pyramid is great, like great. And it was all the teams I coached, right? All 4 teams I coached, that same process happened. And it went from like, dude, we're not like, what's going on here, to by the time we got to Wednesday and Thursday of last week, that the pyramids were like hitting like pretty consistently. And I was like, hey guys, like this is just a reminder to you guys that practices actually matter. Because I know a week ago, like we were looking and going like, dude, coach, like there's a hot mess. Are we ever, and we get caught up in that whole thing. Like, are we ever going to get past this point? Are we just going to be like this forever? And I know the kids feel that way. Coaches sometimes get discouraged and feel like this state that we're in right now is going to last forever. But it's a testament, and it's crazy because I remember coaching at CBU and being like, dude, we're a freaking hot mess. And we would practice. And I just can't underestimate the value of practice, that when you come in and you get your reps in and you do it again and you do it again and you do it again, you gradually get better. There's a great quote. It is not the quote of the week, but maybe one day it will be, and it'll be the quote of the week in season 5. There we go. Season 5, I'm calling it. But great quote. I tell the kids all of the time. Goes, I read in this book called The Talent Code, but it says, if I stop practicing for one day, I notice. If I stop practicing for 2 days, my wife notices. If I stop practicing for 3 days, the world notices. And I try to remind that quote to the kids all of the time. Like, it's about being in here and being consistent, and not just thinking like this practice doesn't matter, because today's practice does matter. And I just feel like we underestimate the true value of a practice. So I wanted to be here to tell people, like, go to practice. Like, we practice 5 hours a week, and not just at our gym in America, but, across the nation. You practice 5 hours a week, be committed to those 5 hours a week, because those 5 hours truly make a difference between, success and failure when it comes to the season that we have. And Be More, you are probably one of the most consistent families we have in the program about coming to practice. So I want to thank you personally. Round of applause. I wonder if we can get a round of applause, a sound effect in there right now. Round of applause for Be More getting Ken and Rye to practice every day. So thank you very much.
There's no, maybe I just think you're fibbing a little bit. There's no way that we're the most consistent, because
you're one of the most consistent for sure. For sure.
It's crazy to think that, because I'm like, as you're talking, I'm just like sitting here thinking, like, I don't let the girls miss practice very often. For one, because number one is I feel like we pay very good money that I don't want to just like wasted down the drain. And number two is we signed up for this. It's a commitment. We knew what the commitment was. And that's just a fact of life. Like when you are in a competitive sport, whether it be travel volleyball, travel soccer, travel softball, travel baseball, anything, like the commitment when you sign up for it. Yep. And like yesterday was Ryan's birthday, and we were like, oh, we kind of want to, go out to dinner with him as a family. And then I'm like, we can't, the twins have practice. Yeah. But that's just like how it goes. So I don't know, parents, get your kids to practice. Get your
kids to practice. There's one thing, my mom was actually really good at this. I'm glad I played sports growing up. Because my mom, I was a freaking knucklehead growing up. I know it's hard to believe now, Be More, but I was a freaking knucklehead growing up. I would get in trouble all the time. And I remember my mom would not let me miss practice when I was in trouble. Like, she knew, like, I'm going to take practice away from, like, I didn't have a cell phone back then. Like, none of us had cell phones growing up. But, the equivalent of taking away my cell phone or taking away, social media to me would have been my mom taking away practice from me. But my mom always say, like, if I take you out of practice, it's going to be a punishment to your teammates, and they didn't do anything wrong. Like, you're in trouble. So she'd take away all these other things. But I remember my mom would emphasize how much, like, she really put an emphasis on, like, this is a team sport, like, and your actions have an impact on your teammates, And so, like, I'm not going to have you miss practice, but believe me, I know she wanted me to miss practice. Like, I know she's like, I'm pulling you from basketball today. I'm pulling you from football today. But, she wouldn't do that. So shout out to Bernadette for, not taking me out of practice and,
definitely instilling that into you. I know the twins, they missed a a flight school practice like 2 weeks ago, and then they went to regular practice. And I remember they came home and they're like, Coach Bailey was asking where we were at. And I'm like, did you tell her you had a dentist appointment? Like, I scheduled it because we can make flight school up, you know. And then they've a couple weeks ago, they also missed like the flight, or not the flight, but the the tumbling on Saturdays.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, you guys, I just told them, like, it was just, I'm like, you guys never miss, like, it'll be okay. Like, you can miss this time. They had a friend staying and her parents were out of town. I'm like, you can miss this time, but other than that, like, go to practice. I mean, it just, I'm never going to see an improvement on anything that they do is if they're not there. And, you know, the whole team thing, like, it's very rare that they will miss that, just because, like, your mom instilled to you is that it's not just hurting you, it's hurting the rest of the team. There's a lot of things that the rest of the team cannot do. So 100%. I definitely agree. I think practices are very important. And I think it's like for anything, you know, as you're saying, like, practice, and you start to see these routines and these pyramids come together. I'm sitting here thinking, like, when I first started doing lashes, I'm like, ooh, like, what the heck is going on? And after a couple sets, I'm like, you know what? You're just practicing on people. Like, go back to the foundation, go back to the basics, and start using my mannequin again. And then I start practicing more. I'm like, okay, I'm getting the hang of it, you know? So get your kids to practice, people.
Yeah. And you mentioned two things, 100% get your kids to practice. And you mentioned two things, like how much money you put into cheer. And I just want everyone, right, especially if you're a parent, I want every parent to think about, you know, pull out your bank statement and probably rearrange all of your charges in order of which one was most expensive to least expensive, right? Especially your monthly charges, right? At the top, you probably have your mortgage or your rent, right? And that's the biggest expense that you have. And at the bottom, you have like Pandora or Netflix or something like that, like monthly charge, right? But right under like rent and mortgage, you have probably your car maybe, and then cheer. Like, it's like mortgage, car, cheer payment, you know? And so there's this comedian, I follow on YouTube. He talked about how his friends invite him to the club on the weekends. He's like, no, I'm not going to the club. I'm staying home. Like, you know how much I paid for this house? Like, I'm going to spend my time in my house right now. You know how much I paid for this? So parents, you're paying a lot of money to not participate when you miss practice. But, you know, the other thing you mentioned was like seeing like the growth in the kids. And I think that a lot of times we don't value how important and significant practice is because we don't see the growth. We don't see immediate growth from practice to practice. And I'm 100% guilty of it. You know, I try to work out every morning and, you know, I work out, and like literally the first thing I do when I get home is I rip off my shirt and stand in front of the mirror. And I'm like, do I got a six pack yet? I'm like, nope, not yet. Maybe tomorrow. Right.
You know,
it's like, go ahead.
It's so funny that you say that, because I think for me, that is like a key thing of why I haven't been going. One of the top 3 things why I don't go to practices very often is because I want to see a difference. When I go every day to practice, I don't see a difference. But when I randomly show up 20, 30 minutes before practice is over and I see them practicing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that before. Like, I can't believe she did that. You know, I'm proud of them because I don't see it every single day. So that's a big thing for me. I mean, I know with the tumbling, one of the twins told me a week or 2 ago, they're like, Coach Jason said that I was doing good on my back handsprings. I'm like, see, that's why we go to practice. Like, keep practicing. So, yeah.
So practice. Okay. So again, I'm going to say it again, in case you guys haven't heard us, in case this horse isn't dead yet. Go to practice, make a commitment to practice, because practice 100% works. It like just, and I'm always amazed that practice works. I'm always like, man, we weren't able to do that, and now we're able to do it. And it comes in incremental stages, you know, one day at a time. You know, especially like you said, you know, you come in and you watch, and like you let bigger chunks go by before you come in and watch practice, so you can actually see the growth. And, you know, I did the same thing when we do the my monthly pictures, right? So back in the day when I was working out, I used to take like, all right, I'm gonna do my October picture, and I'm gonna do my November picture, and I'm gonna do my December picture, and I go, oh, like I can actually see the growth. But when you see growth from month to month, that's actually proof that there's growth day to day. You know, you just can't see the growth or measure it really. You really can't see the growth with the naked eye day to day, but it's proof that the growth is actually there. So parents, athletes, anyone listening, coaches, know that there is growth every day at practice. Well, as long as you're having productive practices, but you got to be at practice, got to be present. You got to actually believe that, you know, some growth is coming. And everyone, don't be less when you can be at practice more. Boom. But yeah, what else we got? Let's, should we get into the question of the week right now?
Sure, yeah.
Well, let's get into the question of the week. If you have a question, guys, it's like one of the best things that we do on the show. One of my favorite things that we do on the show is the question of the week. So if you have a question of the week, be sure to send them into b.more _ on Instagram, or you can send them into me, Jason Larkins, on Instagram. Do not send them on Twitter because I do not have the app anymore, but you send it on Facebook, Instagram, to both of us, and we'll be sure to get at you. And let's see who this week's sponsor is for the question of the week. This week's question of the week comes to us by Black Boys Cheer. Black Boys Cheer is a megaphone for black and brown male cheerleaders everywhere in the industry. Their goal is to provide mentorships, scholarships, mental health resources for black and brown male cheerleaders who might not otherwise have access to them. So if you're a black or brown male cheerleader looking or needing one of these resources, or you're someone looking to donate to this nonprofit organization, please reach out to Black Boys Cheer on Facebook or on Instagram. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode yourself, or just making a small donation to the podcast, you can reach out to us. Link in the description's little, donate to the show button. You can click there and you can donate for as little as 99 cents a month. That actually come under that Netflix subscription that you have. And you probably watch us more than you watch Netflix. Maybe not. And we'll take that 99 cents and we will invest it into Shiba cryptocurrency and become multimillionaires, right, B?
I'm on my way.
On the way to the moon, baby. But
yeah.
B, what is the what's that question of the week? What we got today?
All right. So this question says, will a higher level of cheer need to be developed? Because it's really time that 3.0 high pyramids, 2.5 baskets, backflip dismounts, and tension drops return. Hasn't been the same since the 80s.
There we go. So he's asking if a higher level of cheer needs to come back into cheerleading, and mentioned a bunch of things you used to be able to do in the 80s. 3 high pyramids, 2.5, flipping baskets and tension drops. All right. So, it hasn't been the same since the 80s. So I would say I do not foresee any of those skills coming back into cheer. And those are all basically college cheerleading skills, but I don't see any of those skills coming back into cheerleading. I think in general, if we look at other sports across, especially the major ones, if we look at especially football or basketball, neither one of those sports have been the same since the 80s and 90s, right? And I think a big part of that is because at that time, and I think this includes cheerleading as well, at that time, these sports, their biggest priority was entertainment and not athlete safety. And I think as we've shifted towards having athlete safety at the priority or the forefront of these sports, that they've tried to make them safer and go, what can we do to keep athletes safe? And I think that, those skills are really hard, dangerous skills. So that's the first thing, right? I think when we look at, did you ever see the movie Concussion with Will Smith?
No.
Pretty good movie. You should watch it. Well, I guess you don't have to watch. It wasn't like that good where you like go out and watch it right now. But it was a pretty good movie. But the thing is, he's talking about all these concussions. It was like this, hey, there are concussions happening in the NFL. Y'all aren't doing anything about them. And here's what's happening. You know, they have CTE and these guys are killing themselves and have all these, you know, these things are going wrong and we're not doing anything about it. And so that was the whole what concussion was about. It's like the character that Will Smith played was this doctor. He's finding, you know, all these people are killing themselves that are like from the NFL, right? It's based on, you know, true story, right? All these people are killing themselves. And like, they're like, what is going on? And they would, you know, cut open their brains, autopsy, and go, oh, they had CTE. And apparently that is, you know, causing them to have, you know, these outbursts of anger and, you know, self
all kinds of things,
right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So I watched that, and I love football. I grew up playing football, as you guys know. Grew up, loved it. But after I watched that movie, like, I can't unwatch the movie, you know? And I'm like, man, if I have a son, do I want him in football? Like, do I really want my son crashing his head into other hard surfaces for the next 12 years of his life, you know? And seeing the way like these guys turned out. And, you know, it really gave me like pause and reservation about if we had a son, like putting my son in football. And, you know, the kids hate me for this now. Junior White hasn't had to do it, but our older teams for sure. And I guess Youth Black, because they had to do pyramids. Guys, real quick, I guess I could do this, but does anyone else feel like we should take out single trick baskets for youth level 3? I'll just maybe Shay feels away. I know Shay. Anyone else listening? Does anyone else feel like we should only do straight rides in youth level 3? That's just my opinion. I don't know. These are little kids throwing each other. I have to do one trick. I don't know. It just seems kind of, but I say all that to say, you know, I found all those Taekwondo helmets in the gym the other day, like a couple months ago when we were doing pyramid. And I was like, you know what? These kids are going to wear these Taekwondo helmets. And they're just like foam. I don't know what they're made of, foam or cushion or whatever, you know. And I've had all the kids put on Taekwondo helmets when I think that was senior black when they learned their pyramid. And then we put them on during baskets. I make the Youth Black Flyers wear them during baskets. And the kids are like, Coach, we look stupid. Like, a little bit, but it's better than busting your head on the ground. But, you know, because I don't want these kids getting hurt, especially with the knowledge we have about concussions and head injuries. Like, I've really started to take it a lot more seriously, knowing all those things, you know? So that's the one thing. I think the sports have tried to move, or at least cheer. And, you know, I said before, basketball, football, they're trying to move towards prioritizing athlete safety. And obviously there's an inherent risk in all these things, but that's one thing, athlete safety. And two, these are college skills. And I don't know. I've talked about this before. Our best athletes in the industry are not going to college cheer the way they used to. So there's still a great number of college athletes, and still really, really great athletes are cheering in college. But our very best athletes aren't cheering in college the way that they used to, with the addition of open division. I just had a message today. Someone said, hey, are you guys offering open divisions at American? Unfortunately, we are not. But there's tons of open divisions where you can be, you know, my age and older and out there still cheering on an all-star team. So they have open 4, right? Obviously open 6, open 7, all these things. So there's no real reason. I don't want to say there's no real reason, but before it was like, hey guys, if you want to cheer, you can cheer in college. You can't cheer here anymore because we don't have a team for you. And now if you want to continue to cheer, if kids feel comfortable, they want to keep doing all-stars, or whatever the case may be. So we can hop into the million reasons why kids aren't cheering in all-stars or aren't cheering in college anymore. But our best athletes aren't doing it. And we want to increase that thing, you know, increase the difficulty with not having our best athletes in the sport anymore. And it, you know, it just seems like a bad, you know, recipe. And, you know, although there are great college coaches out there, shout out to Monica. I don't know who else is called. Oh, shout out to Live, Get Rich or Die Trying. That's I know. Live, get quick or die trying. Live quick. Anyway. But there's great college coaches out there. But again, a lot of the best coaches in the industry are coaching all-stars and they aren't coaching college the way it used to be. So I think with a lack of top talent coaches and the most talented athletes, so it's kind of a recipe for, you know, injuries to happen if we bring back some of those more, you know, dangerous skills, in my opinion. So I wouldn't think that they'd bring them back. So, you know, this is just random now, but back in the day, you could do anything an all-star kid could do at practice or like legally in a routine. So could a high school cheer athlete, right? Like the rules were, I don't want to say basically the same, but they were the same, right? Like if a all-star athlete could do it, it was also legal for a high school athlete to do. And what happened over the years, and I think it's the same thing, the most talented athletes and the most talented coaches in general, if you're a great high school coach, don't come at me. I can just see it now. He hates high school coaches. Like, you know, the most talented athletes, the most talented coaches are in all-star cheerleading.
Yeah.
So in general, but, you know, but these high school kids would go and they'd see their favorite YouTube video, their favorite team on YouTube, and go, hey, coach / English teacher, can we try this today at practice? And the coach looks at the video, goes, sure, let's try it. And then, you know, there's all these injuries popping up and, you know, kids are getting hurt left and right. Schools are getting sued. Coaches are getting fired. And so eventually, like, you know what? We got to put all of that to an end. I just see that happening if they bring back, you know, those crazy, this is actually another true story. I had a kid call me a couple years ago. Coach, like crying. Coach, I can't come to practice today. Oh, what's going on? What happened, kid? She's like, I was at high school cheer and they dropped me on my head. I'm like, they dropped you on your head? Like, no one caught me. Like, what were you guys doing? Are we doing a back tuck transition? I'm like, a back tuck transition? I've been to this kid's games before. These kids had no business doing back tuck transitional pyramids. Like,
oh my God.
You gotta be kidding me, right? So I laid on my neck. No one caught me. I'm like, all right. So that kid was out for like a long time, messing around with, you know, craziness. So,
yeah,
you know, Brittany, do you know what a tension drop is?
No.
Okay. I'm going to explain this craziness to you. So, a tension drop. So they have college pyramids, which are 2.5 high, right?
Yeah.
So 2.5 high means there's a person on top of another person, and then half, like you can hold a person like at your waist, basically. And they have different ways they measure half, but, you know, person, and then a person half between half of your body. That's 2.5 high. So he's asking to bring back 3 high pyramids, where it's a person on top of a full body length of a person. And then a tension drop. So a tension drop, if you want to dismount from a pyramid, you have to have 2 catchers, right? So you usually cradle or you like pop off. So a cradle, right? We all know they pop, the fire cradles, you know, there's 2 catchers and they catch in a cradle, or they just pop off. There's a catcher in front, the catcher in the back. One catcher catches the foot, the other catcher catches the waist, all control. A tension drop requires 0 additional catchers. 0 catchers. You have the 2.5 high pyramid, maybe 3 high pyramid, and everyone at the same time starts to lean forward, right? This is crazy. Everyone starts to lean forward. And when you get like, I don't know, a safe, reasonable distance from the ground, everyone forward rolls.
Oh my gosh.
They would do that stuff back in the day.
Yeah, my kids are not doing that.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, right? Like, you gotta miss me with that. Like, that's crazy. So I quit today. I quit cheerleading today. They're like, tension drops are now legal in all-star cheerleading. I'm out, guys. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Uh, kids
Bye,
dying
Jason.
every
We
day.
quit.
Yeah, man. So that's a tension drop. Guys, if you have a question for the question of the week, if it's that good, send it in. That was a good question because we can't be bringing back tension drops, people. But you never know. I might be eating my words 5 years from now. Like, they brought them back. They needed them. So anyway, I don't see them bringing them back. If you have a question for the question of the week, be sure to send them in to us, DM us on Instagram, b.more _ or at Jason Larkins. And we'd love to answer your questions. Ready to shift gears a little bit, B?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got for us?
I think we might need to get into the quote of the week, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, fine with me.
We need a quote of the week. What's on your mind? We need a quote of the week from you. Put you on the spot. What's on your heart?
Don't clean your house with cleaning chemicals. Only use water.
Only use water. There you go.
I don't know. I really wish that, like, really, truly on my heart right now, I wish that my children would listen to me the first time when I tell them something.
Preach.
But, I mean, they used to be so good at that for a while, and they're getting older, so it's kind of like slacking a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything. I have things going on, but no, like, really thought in my head.
All right. This is totally random. I don't even know if I should talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it, but we ain't gonna talk about it. It's wild. We ain't gonna talk about it. But anyway,
you can say it.
Now I thought about it. But it was it had nothing to do with cheerleading. It was just, this is actually totally random. Have you eaten at the Meltdown yet?
No. Where is it? New in Bakersfield?
New in Bakersfield.
And did we talk about this a couple weeks ago, or was something new coming, or is it just brand new?
I think real quick, hold on. Right now, I'm going to insert something into this video right now. Anyway, so we're on the DoorDash app trying to order dinner for the night. And Ashley goes, hey, there's this place called The Burger Den. Looks pretty good. And I go, awesome. Let me look at the menu. I'm looking at it. Like, man, this place looks pretty good. And I'm thinking, I've never heard of the Burger Den. This place must be on the east side somewhere, right? Like, I've never seen the Burger Den before. But the burgers look pretty good. And I'm like, hey, the burgers look awesome. Like, where is this place? And I look, and it's on Rosedale. And I'm like, where? This on Rosedale? I live on Rosedale. Like, where is it? It's like, Ash, it says it's on Rosedale somewhere. Like, right here. It's like right by our house. I'm like, whatever. So we order and, gets there however long later, 20 minutes or whatever. Go out to the porch, open the bag. I'm like, Ash, this is nothing but Denny's, girl. I was like, the Burger Den. So people, don't be bamboozled by Denny's. If you order a place from the Burger Den, that ain't nothing but Denny's. But it was a good burger, though. It really was. Because I would have not have ordered it otherwise. I'm like, I ain't ordering no burger from Denny's. But the Burger Den, fire.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Okay, and now that our audience is caught up, I'm going to tell this story. So, B, Ashley and I ordered DoorDash or Grubhub, Uber. I don't know what we ordered. Ordered DoorDash not too long ago. And the Meltdown, it's a grilled cheese place, right?
Oh, I'm going there today.
Grilled cheese, fire grilled cheeses. I'm letting you know, fire grilled cheeses. And we're eating it. And we've had it a couple times. The most recent time we ordered it, we got it, and we found out it's Denny's. So we're like, it struck again. We've been bamboozled again by Denny's.
You did tell me that.
No, that was the Burger Den the first time.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. You have went to this place before, right?
No,
Like
never
actually
actually been there. No, never actually been there. Just ordered it on DoorDash.
Oh, that's twice.
Twice. Denny's has gotten your boy.
We're gonna have to put something in the crock pot so you guys quit getting bamboozled.
You should start your own DoorDash thing. Like Bee's
No.
Home Cooking. I'm like, Bee's Home Cooking? That sounds great. She sounds like she's from the South. Like, let's go.
There's no excuses now. So like now that I don't work, like
Sure.
there's no excuses to not cook dinner. So usually I'd be like, oh, I'm tired, or I worked a lot, or blah, blah, whatever my excuse was. But now it's like, there's no reason not to take food out. Like I just threw chicken breast in the crock pot, chicken and dumplings for tonight. So there's no reason now, which that kind of stinks, you know, I mean, but whatever.
But for real, the grilled cheese is fire. Like it really is.
From Denny's, Jason.
From Denny's. I'm telling you. I'd order it again. I'd order it right now.
Hey, maybe we could start a food truck that's like straight grilled cheeses.
There's some good grilled cheese trucks out there. Not in Bakersfield, but
not in Bakersfield.
If there is one, I don't know where it is. No, I don't want anyone coming at me like I have the best grilled cheeses in the world.
Okay, speaking of food, have you tried Taco Bros downtown?
No, but I had homies tacos this weekend.
I've had homies tacos. I highly suggest that you have Taco Bros downtown. It's just a drive-through. You can't eat there. You could call it in or whatever. And I get the birria tacos. Yeah, you're judging me. I can't roll. I can roll my the birria taco combo. The best I've ever had. Like so good. You need to try it.
I need to try it. Fuegos has the birria top ramen. I haven't tried that yet, but it looked pretty good on Instagram the other day.
I'll have to try that too.
All right, enough about food, people.
Yeah.
Time to get into this quote
Clearly.
of the week. I know
we're
just
hungry
right now. Yeah, don't pod while you're hungry. Okay, quote of the week. Here we go. I went back and forth, but I like this quote. Let me pull it up. And this is the. Oh, hold on. Let me find the quote of the week. I don't want to mess it up. Oh yeah, here we go. And this is the Sounds Like That quote of the week. Sounds Like That is the official music producer for the Let's Talk Cheer podcast and also all of our American cheer tracks. So if you are in a gym and you need some fire music, go to the link in the description, fill out the little questionnaire thing, and someone from Sounds Like That will get back to you and you'll get some fire music the way American Cheer has fire music. And I keep saying this every week, but music is coming up soon. I keep talking to our music producer. He's like, oh yeah, working on this track right now. So we got music. We could get it today. Like literally we could get it today. So we actually might have music by time this actually airs. So anyway, Sounds Like That quote of the week, or Sounds Like That question of the week. Here we go. This is a good quote. This is also another Jason Larkin's original, but it's more of a thought of the week and a quote of the week, but I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm not here to impress anyone. And I really like this. The other day, this happens actually all the time at CrossFit. You know, they put the message or the workout up on the board. And if you haven't been to CrossFit before, it's like really specific. Like it's not just the workout, but they tell you like how much weight you're supposed to use. And they have the RX rate or weight, like the prescribed weight that you're supposed to use. So you're supposed to use 100 pounds if you're RX, right? It also has like a scaled weight. If you're not an RX athlete, you use 80 pounds, right? And it has an RX weight or an RX version of the workout and a scaled version of the workout, right? And every day you go in and you look and you make a decision like, oh, you know what? Like I'm RX in that, but I'm not really good at that. So I'll do this scaled, you know. And oftentimes people come in and they'll try to poke at you like whatever, like, oh, you're not lifting enough weight, blah, blah. or they'll look at, whatever. And oftentimes I have to remind myself while I'm there, I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm not here to impress you, right? And so the other day in there, trying to lift my weight or whatever, and I decide, like, you know what? I really want to, like, when I go, like, my biggest motivation when I go has been to finish the workout without any extended breaks. Because these workouts can get, they're anywhere from, 7 minutes, like short 7-minute workouts, or all the way up to like 30 minutes where you're just going like the whole time, like nonstop, right? And I saw this on Instagram once upon a time, and it said something like, don't impress me with your volume, impress me with your intensity, something like that. And I thought that was so good. And I thought about, so many times I'm like trying to lift as much as I can. And after I saw that, lift as much as I can, but take huge extended breaks, like breathe in. And there's other people who aren't lifting as much, but they're not taking as nearly as long breaks. They're just going and being consistent. And I just decided I want to have a more intense, focused workout, not have like long extended breaks, which means I had to, not have as much volume. And I've really tried to do that for the last, however long recently, right? Last few months, right? And so someone said something the other day, and I just thought, I'm not here to impress you. Like, I'm not trying to impress you with how much weight I lift. I'm trying to set a goal for myself where I can set a really achievable goal, not like a really achievable goal, but I want to set an achievable goal where I can not have extended breaks. And like this is a personal thing for me, where I can go through this workout as quickly as I can, and not to be faster than anyone else, but just so that I can say, I set this goal, I went through, I'm getting mentally tougher as we go through. So that's what I'm really trying to do, like be mentally tough as we go through these workouts, so I can face the challenges that the day might throw at me, right? But I see this a lot, and let me bring this back to cheer, why I want to bring it up, because I see this a lot with kids, is that they're more worried about impressing their friends than actually getting like a good workout in. And I'll see this all the time. It happens a lot, like in tumbling classes. A coach will set up a drill, a brand new drill, right? Coach sees a drill online. Oh, that looks like a pretty cool drill. Sets up the drill. None of the kids have done it before. And the kids want to try it. Or the coach wants the kids to try it. And the kids go up. And what the kids won't do their first time is give 100% effort, right? Because everyone's kind of looking sideways like, this drill this drill looks kind of weird to me. And what happens a lot is kids won't give 100% effort. And I think a big major part of the reason why kids won't give 100% effort in that drill is because they are scared that they're going to mess up the drill. And upon messing up, all of their friends are going to laugh at them and go. And I used to see this all the time with kids, that we'd set something up and a kid would not give 100% effort, would mess up, and then just kind of like laugh at herself. Like if I'm laughing at myself, like you can't, like I'm laughing with you, like it was funny. But instead of what none of us want is for us to give 100% effort on something and then still our friends laugh at us, like, no, I actually was trying there, like I actually put my heart on the line. You guys laughed at me, And so I think if we had the humility to go, you're like, you know what? I'm not here to impress you. I'm here for my own personal goals or whatever. Like I'm trying to get better at this. I think we'd be able to reach success a lot faster, if kids didn't want to impress their friends or not get laughed at by their friends when trying to drill, or, just have the humility to say, you know what, I'm not going to lift as much weight today. Yep. You're stronger than me or whatever. I'm trying, I have different goals in mind. Like I'm trying to get through this workout without extended, breaks in the whole thing. So anyway, not really the quote of the week, but I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to impress anybody, but it is like kind of the thought of the week. So
I think it could go really far with a lot of different things, that thought of the week. just because, like you said, that, you know, they don't want to give like 110% because they're worried like they're going to get laughed at. I think that's a lot of things with kids nowadays, is that, oh, I'm not going to wear this, or I'm not going to say that, or I'm not going to raise my hand in class. I know the answer, but I'm not going to be, you know, that, because I don't want someone to look at me that way. But if they, you know, did have that mindset of, I'm not here to impress you. I've kind of always told the girls since they were in like kindergarten, I picked out their clothes for a long time. And I finally was like, you know what? We used to do this thing on Sundays where we pick out outfits for the whole week. And it was just easier in the morning, and they just pulled out their outfits, and, you know, they had PE certain days, their shoes were coordinated with that and everything. And it finally got to a point where I told them, you know, you're old enough, you can pick your own outfits out. And so they'd pick them out, and I'd look at them, or they'd change their mind. And I'd be like, I had to catch myself a couple times, because I'm like, what the heck are you wearing?
What's this kid wearing?
Yeah, right. But I said it like once or twice, and then it kind of like pushed them back a little bit. Like they weren't real confident in what they were wearing. So I like used to tell myself, like, let them be who they want to be. So I always tell them, like, if you're confident in wearing something, wear it. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. Like, if you like it, rock it. So I think that it kind of ties into that a little bit. Like, you're not here. I'm not here to impress you. They're not here to impress them going to school. Like, if they like it, they like it, you know? I like that one.
Yeah. And it's good because you don't want to stifle creativity. And that's the other part, like what you're talking about, is you don't want to stifle. And that's one thing I like really try to do. It's like, especially like with our staff and even with the kids too. But it's what you don't want to do is turn down everyone. Every time someone has an idea, you don't want to be the person that turns it down, because pretty soon you're going to sit in a room full of silence and no one's going to offer up their ideas if you aren't there to like receive their ideas and hear what they have to say. Because people do have good ideas. Now, they might not all of their ideas might be the greatest, but if you turn down every single idea that's not perfect, you're not going to have anyone who volunteers any more new information to you, you know? So like with the kids, when they have ideas, you know, we try to, even though we don't implement all of them, but I try to at least listen to them and go, hey, that's actually a really good idea. Maybe we can try that next week. Oh, that's actually not bad. Let's try that in with a little bit of a spin right here. Because I want our kids, I want our staff to actually hear one, that I'm listening to them and that we're willing to implement them. Because one day someone's going to have a really, really good idea, but if they think that's going to get turned down, like they're not going to volunteer that information, you know? So yeah, you don't want to stifle that creativity. And, you know, not here to impress someone. You know, if you feel good wearing it, rock it. And, you know, people with confidence can wear anything, you know, like people with confidence can make anything look good. They're just, you know, I used to wear all sorts of stuff in high school. So it's like, here we go. I feel good. Come on, you can't tell me who I am.
Not here to impress anybody.
Not here to impress you, homie. But yeah, so good thought of the week. I don't even know. We got anything else, B? Anything else we need to talk about?
I don't think so. I mean, competition season is creeping up upon us real quick.
Right around the corner,
we got Halloween coming up, and if you are local in Bakersfield, feel free to come to our haunted house that we have. It's only on Halloween night, so don't be trying to come on Saturday.
You don't sacrifice your house for the whole week?
No, actually, I posted it on our Nextdoor app because we did it last year, and now Ryan just has to do it every year. And people were like, "What are the days and times that you're doing this?" I'm like, "Days and times."
When's the first showing? Will there be a matinee?
No, I'm like, Halloween night, that's it. Saturday night is our sound check night, make sure everything's working. So but Halloween, and then we'll get Thanksgiving, and then then we have our first competition in December, not including showcase for parents and family, and then it's like fiasco every month after that.
Then it gets real.
So I was like trying to check my schedule the other day for something, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it that month. Oh, I can't do it that month. Oh, I can't do it that month. because of cheerleading, which it's fine. This is what we signed up for, right? So
that's what we signed up for, Yeah, here we go. Showcase, then December, then it gets real. So, but first, music. Casey, holla at your boy, gets that music, son. All right, here we go. Last thing we got then is, guys, if you've made it to the end, thank you so much. That means that you actually liked the podcast. That's evidence that you like the podcast. So take 1 millisecond out of your day and actually hit the like button, whether it's just the link that you found this on Facebook, or if you're watching it on YouTube. Share it with someone, leave a comment below, say great show, say, leave, an idea for a question of the week, do any of those things, or you can leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and a review. And so let's get into a 5-star rating that we got not too long ago from Sherry-Ella. Could be a hyphen. I actually learned there's a difference between hyphens and dashes the other day, which I did not know there's a difference. I thought like dash was like a slang term for a hyphen, but apparently there are 2 different actual symbols. So anyway, this is from Sherry-Ella. Love the podcast. Thank you for all of your knowledge and wisdom. You always make me think of things from a different perspective. I came from a world of sports where you can win based on the number of goals you scored and less on subjectivity. It has been a journey for me to switch my thinking and learn to give the appropriate support to my athlete, but you always lead the way. I loved your talk on scoring. Thank you so much, Sherry. You are the best. If you want to leave a 5-star rating and a review, feel free to do so. And, we might be sharing yours on the podcast. But Other than that, B, you got anything?
I'm good.
Guys, well, then make sure that you don't be less when you can be more. We'll close it on this. 5, 6, 7, 8.
We're out.
We're out.